This is a video of the sagittal section of the human head for BIOL 158. So first off, we're going to look at the external nares. Now, the nares are what we kind of refer to as our nostrils. So I got to kind of turn this guy around a little bit. But we can see right there, that is the external nare right there. So if I turn this model back around, it's that opening that I'm going through right there. Next is the nasal cavity. So all of this in this area is the nasal cavity. Within the nasal cavity, we're seeing these bones that curl in here. So these three bones here are called the nasal concha. The upper one here is called the superior nasal concha. Here is the middle nasal concha, and there is the inferior nasal concha. Now, where the nasal cavity ends is essentially like this area right between my finger and thumb. So that there is the internal nare, location of the internal nare, the opening on the other side of the nasal cavity. We move from this, all of this in this area here is the pharynx. This upper part of the pharynx here is called the nasopharynx. So this is the nasopharynx here. And so there is a hole in the middle of that nasopharynx, and that is the auditory tube opening. Something else that we see up here in the nasopharynx is this structure right there. That right there is the pharyngeal tonsils. If we move to this area here, this is the location of the oropharynx. And in the oropharynx, we're seeing that structure there at the back side of it. That is the palatine tonsils. And then this part of our pharynx down here, this is the laryngopharynx. So that's the location of the laryngopharynx. If we move back up here, this is the oral cavity right here. Right above the oral cavity right here, this is trying to show bone. That is the location of the hard palate. There's all bone there above that. This is trying to show skeletal muscle here. That is the soft palate right there. And then it stops right there. And so this right here is trying to show that uvula. So below the oral cavity right there, there's the tongue. On the tongue, we're seeing another set of tonsils. These are the lingual tonsils. So moving below here, this structure right there, that is the epiglottis. And then below the epiglottis, in all of this area right here, that is the larynx. So parts of the larynx, this is the thyroid cartilage. Next is the cricoid or cricoid cartilage. That is right here. This is also part of it right there. And then we're seeing here is the true vocal cords. And then above that right there, there are the false vocal cords right there. The larynx essentially ends here. And then this starts the trachea. And then this other tube that we're seeing over here, that is the esophagus.